Hello, my name is Rainer Hanekamp. This is Engineers and Angular in 2023. In 2022, we got standalone components, the inject function, type forms, and host directives. These were all features which improved the developer experience and were fully available or completed. Not so in 2023. There, we saw the start of signals, better hydration, and we got a glimpse on what is possible with an extended template syntax. Signals are a lightweight way to integrate reactivity into our applications. RxJS will still have its place, but for more advanced stuff. For example, for combining events, managing data streams, and everywhere where asynchrony plays a role. Signals will simplify Angular in different areas. For example, the framework knows exactly when and where it has to run the change detection. We got a local change detection, and with the upcoming signal inputs, we don't need to learn about lifecycle hooks anymore. For example, ng on changes. For Alex Rickerbo, Angular co-lead, the main benefit of signals is not the performance gain, but put in an abstract way.
There are many other advantages and disadvantages and trade-offs of signals versus the Zone.js way of doing things. But I wanted to make this point. I wanted to kind of go through this exercise of understanding really what it means for data to be coupled to the UI hierarchy, and the trade-offs of doing that, right? You get this kind of, we can update the model and just magically know that our UI is going to be synchronized. But we run into these problems where sometimes we want to flow data backwards in the system, and that becomes harder to do. And I wanted to show that this new signals thing that we're working on, one of the main benefits is it actually does decouple the way your data flows in your application from the UI hierarchy.
Hydration was the second construction site the Angular team opened up. In version 16, we got real hydration. That means the framework does not destroy and rebuild the application in the browser. And version 17 saw the stable release of the application builder, which uses ESBuild instead of Webpack and has first-class support for server-side rendering. This means that the Angular CLI has now server-side rendering built in, and we don't have to rely on community projects like ng Universal anymore. Server-side rendering is critical for any application that runs on the internet and requires good SEO. Improvements in hydration will continue. Minko Getchev, product lead of Angular, gave the following outlook for 2024.
From there on, we'll be moving further to more fine-grained hydration, because currently we are rendering like everything onto the server, and we're delivering this to the client, and we're hydrating the entire application. We would like to explore how we can leave some islands on the client that are not hydrated, so that developers can delay loading certain JavaScript that is not essential. This is going to significantly speed up page performance, initial load time.
Whereas hydration and signals are features that we know already from other frameworks, it is a different story when it comes to the template extension. The new defer block allows us to declaratively lazy load a component or a group of components with all its dependencies. According to Jeremy Alborn, Angular tech lead, they are even thinking of another block where it might be possible to come up with server components as we see it in React. So in that regard, I see Angular as a real pioneer. So we see huge changes which will still go on in 2024. The main challenges therefore are, how can the Angular team introduce those features without a big bang? And even more important, for those companies who cannot migrate their code base to those new features, what can the Angular team do for them so that these companies don't fall behind? The Angular team introduces those features incrementally. It's more or less the way how we write our own applications. Once a certain part of a feature is ready, it is marked as a developer preview. That means it is stable, but it can still happen that there are some breaking changes within a major version. We saw this, for example, with the signals in version 16, where the mutate function was removed. This step-by-step approach gives the Angular team the possibility to get early feedback from the community, to work on multiple features at the same time, and also to make necessary changes on the way. Again, an example. The signal component was planned for Angular 17. Now, because the Angular team got the feedback from the community and had the time to research the usage of signals, they came up with plan 2. So we will get now signal inputs for the normal components. It will also be possible to reach zoneless with normal components, and signal components will then be released later. But again, we don't have to refactor our complete application just in order to get to signal components. You can still upgrade to the latest versions, but you don't have to use the latest features. This means in Angular 17, you can still go with ng modules, constructor-based dependency injection. You don't have to use signals. You can also use Webpack and also ngIf for ng4. Nothing is deprecated. So we have the time to upgrade, which of course is what we should, but nobody is forcing us also to migrate, rewrite our code base. In those cases where it is possible, Angular provides schematics. They are able to automatically modify our source code and migrate to the latest features. The most popular migrators are the ones to standalone components and the new template syntax extension. So backwards compatibility and schematics give Angular the possibility to innovate very fast, and we can evolve at our own speed. So signals, hydration, template syntax extension, and for 2024 we can expect signal inputs, the signal component, advanced hydration techniques, and also maybe some new features in terms of template syntax extension. So if I say 2023 was quite a good year and we can be very positive for 2024, then that's definitely an understatement. Last but not least, ng News is now 2.5 years old. At the beginning of 2023, we had around 800 followers on X. Now we are beyond 2,100. On YouTube, we had 10. Now we are at 800. More would be good, but I think that's just a question of time. To me personally, because of ng News, I became a GD, and I also received an award at ng Poland. Some of the postings on X reach beyond 10K visits. That just shows me that you are actively sharing the content. Thanks for that. I wouldn't do it without you. And I hope that you continue to play your active role in this year as well. So I wish you all the best for 2024. Happy New Year. Thanks again, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.